Hello friends, how are you? Shall we start our class today? So let's go. The sun hung low over the dense forest as the monk tread softly, his thoughts filled with reflections on life's impermanence. Every step was deliberate, his mind steady, until a distant sound, low, guttural, menacing, snapped him out of his meditation. A tiger's roar. He froze. The monk's breathing quickened as the reality settled over him. Danger! His eyes darted to the trees around him, searching for safety. The roar came again, closer this time. The tiger was hunting, and he was the prey. Fear, he whispered to himself, is part of life. But what shall I do with it? Suddenly, the undergrowth rustled violently, and without thinking, the monk ran. Heart pounding, steps uneven, he sprinted through the winding trails of the forest, the growls of the tiger steadily gaining behind him. The harmony of his meditation was replaced by the raw instinct for survival. The undergrowth gave way to a sharp drop, and the monk skidded to a halt, teetering on the edge of a steep cliff. Below him, jagged rocks glistened menacingly, and above him, the tiger emerged from the shadows, its eyes locked on him with an unwavering hunger. The monk's chest heaved as he faced his dire reality. To leap meant certain death, but to stay meant succumbing to the tiger's claws. The growls grew louder, vibrating through the air, urging him to act. Without thinking, he glanced to his left and spotted a weathered root protruding from the cliffside. Desperation drove him forward as he grabbed the root and climbed down, his fingers trembling but determined. His sandals scraped against the rocky surface as he found footing just out of the tiger's immediate reach. The tiger paced above, its low growls reverberating through the cliffside. Sweat trickled down the monk's face as he tightened his grip. "What now?" he murmured aloud, his voice barely audible over his labored breathing. Between the tiger and the abyss there is no escape. Yet, even as he spoke, a sliver of calm began to creep into his thoughts. Hanging precariously from the root, the monk's heart thundered, yet a curious sensation began to settle over him, an odd stillness amidst the chaos. His eyes wandered along the rocky wall of the cliff. There, a few feet away, a small green plant clung resiliently to the stone. At its tip, gleaming like a ruby, was a single ripe strawberry. For a moment, the monk simply stared. Its vibrant color was a stark contrast to the muted grays and browns of the cliff. The tiger's growls rumbled above, and the abyss yawned below, but his gaze remained fixed on the delicate fruit. Even here, he thought, life finds a way to flourish. Carefully, with one hand gripping the root, he stretched toward the strawberry. His fingers brushed its surface, and he plucked it gently, marveling at its vividness. Without hesitation, he brought it to his lips and tasted the sweetness. The flavor was pure and bright, cutting through the weight of his predicament. For that fleeting moment, the danger faded into the background, replaced by the simple joy of the present. "In this fragile moment," he whispered, "there is beauty." As the monk lingered on the cliffside, a strange sense of calm wrapped around him. He glanced down and noticed movement near his feet. A trail of ants crawled with precision along the rocky surface, tirelessly carrying tiny fragments of food back to their colony. Their synchronized determination fascinated him. Even here, he mused, life persists, unbothered by the tiger or the abyss. The realization deepened as he observed them. These ants, so small and fragile, seemed indifferent to the vast danger surrounding them. They simply continued their work, present in their purpose. The monk thought of the tiger above and the chasm below, symbols of death and uncertainty. Yet, here were these ants, thriving, fulfilling their role within the cycle of existence. He began to understand. Life was not about conquering fear or avoiding danger, but about embracing each moment with acceptance. What am I to the tiger, the cliff, or even the ants? He wondered aloud. Just another part of this infinite dance. His grip on the root tightened, but not from fear, rather from a newfound connection to the life around him. The monk's breathing steadied as he let the realization settle deep within his heart. The monk closed his eyes, his breath even and unhurried. Clinging to the root, he could still hear the tiger pacing above, its growls punctuating the stillness of the cliffside. Yet he no longer felt panic. A profound clarity had settled within him, erasing the sharp edges of fear. Deciding to act, the monk carefully ascended, hand over hand, until his head peeked over the edge. The tiger was there, its striped form a striking figure of power and menace. It turned to him, eyes gleaming with feral hunger. The monk pulled himself onto solid ground and sat cross-legged facing the beast. He did not run. He did not fight. He simply sat, still and unflinching. "If this is my end," he spoke aloud, his voice calm, "then I embrace it. I will not flee from life nor from death." The tiger stopped, its growl tapering into silence. For a moment, predator and prey regarded one another. The tiger's muscles tensed as if preparing to pounce, but something shifted. The monk's stillness seemed to ripple through the air, like a stone dropped into a tranquil pond. The tiger let out a huff, its sharp gaze softening. Slowly, it turned and padded back into the forest, its tail swishing once before vanishing into the trees. The monk exhaled a long, steady breath and gazed at the horizon. The tiger was gone, but the lesson lingered. The monk walked slowly back to his village, his steps quiet, his mind filled with the echoes of the encounter. The tiger's image lingered, not as a symbol of fear, but as a reminder of life's raw, untamed nature. When he arrived, the other monks gathered around, eager to hear his story. He sat among them, the simplicity of his presence captivating their attention. "I faced a tiger today," he began, his voice calm, "and I stood on the edge of the abyss. Between them, I found something remarkable." The monks leaned in, their expressions a mix of curiosity and awe. "It was a strawberry," he said, pausing to let the words settle. "In the midst of danger there was sweetness. In the face of fear there was beauty. Life is not about fleeing the tiger or avoiding the fall. It is about embracing the moment, whatever it may bring." One of the younger monks asked, "And what of the tiger?" The monk smiled. The tiger is always there, just as the abyss is always near. But so is the strawberry. Do not let the tiger blind you to its sweetness. His words resonated, planting a seed of calm in their hearts, a lesson they would carry forever. It's great to see you here. Tell me in the comments what you thought of the story and what level of difficulty it was for you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, activate the bell so you don't miss new stories, and like if you liked it. I'll see you next time. Bye.